Good. Hey guys, it's Friday and you are watching Sizzle This, and we have Michael and Christy, and we have and we have Renee, and I'd like to welcome you guys to Sizzle This. How is your guys' week going so far, guys?
I'm having a good week. I'm having a great week. I found some treasures at the cheese dairy, the Minerva cheese dairy. I got to link their information down below. And I found a new gold mine today at the produce stand. So,
Very cool.
yeah, I've had a good week. How about you, Michael?
I've had a good week. Just working and damn, I'm eating. Just working. I mean, just living life, and yeah, it's fun. It's a regular week for me.
How about you, Miss Renee? How was your week?
Same, good. Went to Oregon and saw my doctor on Monday. Other than that, we went to the ocean on the weekend for Casey's birthday. And just been at home.
Okay. How about you, Dennis?
I had an interesting week. I actually passed out on Tuesday, and I got really dizzy, and I passed out, and I thought I was having a stroke. So when I got up from the floor, my dog was licking my face, and I got up from the floor, and really bad headache on the right side. My whole right arm and up to my shoulder was numb, tingly, so I thought I was having a stroke. So I called 911. Good old Tucson Fire basically says I was having an anxiety attack. So basically, long story short, they denied transporting me. I had to go to the hospital. I was dehydrated. Was there for like 8 or 9 hours. But I'm going through some testing this next couple weeks. So everything else basically is going okay so far, except for that. Haven't had any really bad dizziness since then. So hopefully everything's getting situated.
That's weird. That happened to me last week, twice. I got in trouble. Christy yelled at me. I hit my head twice last week. I passed out twice.
It's hard. I mean, and you don't know when you're going down. I mean, I was just walking from one room to another to do laundry, and the next thing I remember was I was being licked by my puppy and got up off the floor, and then I had like this severe, pain, real bad headache. And my arm was all numb and tingly, so I thought I was actually having a stroke.
See, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. My arm did tingle, but I didn't think anything of it. I guess that's good to know.
Yeah. And are you drinking your water, Dennis?
I am. I'm on my second one today, which is 48 ounces. But the funny part is, though, they say I was dehydrated. I drink my water. I had 60 ounces of water. I had 60 ounces of water Monday after exercising.
But not necessarily absorbing properly.
Probably not.
60 ounces of water is not enough. You take your weight, divide that by 2. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Not counting if you're working out.
Ice water does not absorb into your body the same as room temperature water. I learned too.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Room temperature water absorbs into your lining better than ice cold water does.
Huh.
See, I didn't know that either.
Because I love ice cold water, and I drink it way faster than any other water, and they got on me about that because it does not absorb as good as our body temperature water.
Huh. Interesting to know. Learn something new. I'm going to go ahead and go into shout-outs real quick. We have a few things. I first want to say prayers are out to all of our East Coast friends for the hurricane and the rain that everybody's getting. So take cover and be safe.
Swim.
And, yeah.
Swim.
I want to sit there and say to the Haneys, happy 1-year anniversary. Also, we have 1-year anniversary for Pinkfish Lily. She is surgery-free. I mean, seizure-free. So.
Surgery-free? Is that possible? Can you be surgery-free?
I know. She's surgery-free, so we're really happy for her. Go check out her latest video. She's absolutely glowing in that video, so just tickled for her. BSG Tanya and her husband celebrated their 14-year wedding anniversary. VSG Jenny celebrated her 6-month surgery.
Yeah.
Rockin' Robin VSG celebrated her 1-year surgiversary.
Awesome.
Finding Elizabeth, we wish her safe travels to London.
Yay.
Nathaniel Sarah, am I saying the last name right?
I think it's Sarah, yes.
Okay, he had plastics last week. Also, Robert's Realities, she got got a date, so we're excited. And Miss Lindsay Cooks, she's gonna be back on YouTube.
Yes.
Yay! We're all excited for that one.
Her and Ozzy.
Yes, I know. And then we want to send prayers out to Roseburg, Oregon. Yeah, for the shootings yesterday. Renee was telling me there was 13 dead so far, so we want to send our prayers out to the family out there for that.
Exactly.
We have a couple of birthdays that will be happening this week until we get back on Friday. Trisha Pretty just had her birthday Thursday, so happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday.
Carrie Downs and Sleeve Rocker's birthday are tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
I know. And then Melly May's birthday is on the 6th.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, that's my son Alex's birthday. We're having his birthday party tomorrow, so.
Yay.
Yep, so her birthday's on the 6th. And then I got a couple of news things. Don't forget the GENEPRO giveaway that we have. The link is down below.
But don't enter because I want to win.
And if you want to order off their website, you can. We have a coupon code. It's PS15, and that's for 15% off a discount. So go ahead and do that. Get your entries in, people, because that ends October
16th?
15th. It's already ended. Listen
It
to
already
her.
ended. Sorry, guys.
It ended on the 15th. It ends on the 15th at midnight. So you have until the 15th at midnight to sit there and get on there. Journey to Lose, that Facebook group started. It's a challenge for the holidays, so get in there if you want to start in there. OH starts in 2 weeks for everybody that's going. Sorry, I'm on my phone, so my phone is back and forth.
You can't see her cute horns.
I know, you can't see my horns. I got
We see the horns. They're always.
And then our winner for our Anberry Nutrition box, we had so many entries, and my computer died while we were doing it, but Michael and Dennis did see me do the drawing for them, and our winner is, you ready?
Who is it?
Gastric Rose.
Yes!
Oh, yay! Mama Rose.
Yes. So I will be sending that box to you and getting on your information and stuff. So congratulations to Gastric Rose, and thank you for everybody that entered. We had, like I said, we had 33 entries for that. So that was, yeah, we had a lot of entries. And that's all the news that I have right now. So
Actually, we had like 34 or 35. I think I entered twice.
yeah, you did. Well, one was Sizzle This and one was Michael May. So yeah, I didn't count you, Mr.
Very cool. Before we start, we have some comments here. I want to say hello to some people. We do have Gastric Rose here, so she says, hello, my sweet friends.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Mama Rose.
Hey, Mama Rose. We also have Terry Lowe's Journey. Says, hello, beautiful ladies and handsome men.
Gary.
Joy Lynn is here. She says she is here. She says, didn't know about the tip with the water, so she didn't know that. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Neither did I.
Penny R is here. She says, hello, Christy. Hello, Dennis.
Hello. Oh,
So-
no, Michael?
You suck, Michael.
I'm just gonna sit over here and eat me another M&M.
I want one.
Gastric Rose says, the cold water actually helps your metabolism, right?
Open.
And then also, she says that Connie, which is her twin, will meet Trisha tomorrow for her birthday party.
How fun.
Yay.
I'm jealous.
And then,
Can I say something real quick on that? Because I think someone on this panel is also going to meet Trisha at her birthday party.
I'm confused because like an hour ago he said he was flying to Seattle to see me.
Go ahead and say.
I am going up there to see Trisha tomorrow, and Christina will be there, I believe, and Connie will be there.
Oh, yay.
That sounds like a party.
I know, man. Okay,
this should be a
Michael,
good time.
I know. I'm sorry. I had to interrupt and sit there and give that shout out to Michael. So.
No, that's okay. Joy Lynn says basically no one should enter, so which means she would like to win also. So good luck, Joy. Gastric Rose says thank you, thank you. And then Terry Lowe's Journey also congrats Gastric Rose. And so does Joy. Joy Lynn also says congratulations to Mama Rose. And so far, that is all the comments that we have so far.
Oh, great. Okay, and before I get started, I forgot before my computer crashed and I had to get on my phone, I forgot to link down below that Renee did do a live show with the Pretty Losers about her procedures, everything she's been through, and we know we've all been following her. So she's going to give us a quick rundown of her journey, and then we're going to get into, because our topic is overweight childhood obesity. So we want to get into that, and I know Renee wants to talk about some other things too. So let's go ahead and get into it.
I do?
Well, you said you do. You said you wanted to talk about all kinds of stuff.
I said I want to listen to you guys talk, and I'll just be here.
I don't work like that.
So, what do you guys want to know?
Just give us the basics rundown of everything that you've had, and then I'll link the Pretty Losers
Oh, a basic
show.
rundown. Hold on, let me get comfortable
I was
here.
going to say, do you have an hour now? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. So, basically, my rundown. Sorry, my computer's unplugged. In '09, I had lap band, and I had that for 5 years. First year was pretty typical lap band story. I lost 60 pounds, well, between like 50 and 60 a pound a week, consistently, average. And then it kind of just, that was it. Really bummed out, really gave it my all. My doctor was like an hour away too, so I went, weekly. I went to support groups up there, and just didn't have great support, but still went to the groups and, tried to meet people on my own. I never had a green zone after that. Like, I was either too tight or too loose, so I just kind of, I don't want to say gave up, but I kind of did. And then, when you don't see progress anymore, you just kind of fall off the wagon. And then, what else? I started having issues, like GI issues, not sure what it was coming from, so they found out that I was having, like, reflux, but not, like, up in my throat area, not, like, coming back up in my mouth, like the reflux you would assume was reflux, like internal reflux.
Yeah.
Well, my band had slipped, but it wasn't showing a slip. So they didn't know until the band was removed. And that's another life story. Also had eroded some, so my stomach was damaged with scar tissue and other issues. I had gone in wanting a revision because at the time I had just learned about sleeve, and I had met a gal who worked there who was around my age who had sleeve, and I did a lot of research, and that's when I actually created a weight loss Facebook. Mind you, this is 5 years after my lap band, so sleeve was not available or not around, really, I guess, in '09 when I had my lap band.
It was very good.
So, yeah, I hadn't even heard the word or the term DSG or sleeve gastrectomy or anything. And they did, bypass at my surgery center and everything, but I opted for band, and to this day I'm still paying on my surgery loan for band because it was an out-of-pocket expense. I paid cash. And so I went to the same surgeon who I thought was a good surgeon, and she was going to do revision. She wanted me to lose 40 pounds, and she put me on some pill. I don't know, but I didn't like that idea. But I did it, and I lost the 40 pounds within 2 weeks on this pill, which made me feel like I was losing my mind. And went in, to have the procedure, and I woke up with no band and no sleeve.
Wow.
She said my stomach had too much scar tissue and was too damaged, and that she didn't feel comfortable or confident doing the band or the sleeve. And the minute she said she didn't feel confident doing the sleeve, I was like, okay, well, I'm not coming back to you for the sleeve because you want a confident doctor. And then I started questioning what was actually wrong with my stomach that it was so damaged that you didn't feel comfortable even doing it, because isn't sleep taking out part of your stomach anyway? So if your stomach's damaged, just cut that part out. And I know I'm not a doctor, but common sense made me feel that that would be the proper thing to do, is remove the damaged portion of your stomach. Well, I found a doctor, because my insurance makes you go to a Blue Distinction Center, which is like in Washington, there's only, well, like in the Seattle area, there's only a handful that are Blue Distinction on my insurance. So I found one that was local and went and saw the head of bariatrics there, who kind of gave me the runaround. I felt like he didn't really want to be my doctor, but he kind of just gave surgery to anyone who walked in almost who had insurance coverage. And he was like, okay, do your pre-op diet, come back, and well, like, you don't have to do your 6-month program because you already did for the revision or the other doctor. All they had to do was resubmit, like, just with a new doctor. And in 2 weeks, I didn't lose the weight, but mind you, I'd already lost the 40 pounds for my other surgery. And he's like, well, you cheated, obviously, if you didn't lose the weight. And I'm like, obviously, I've been fat my whole life. If I could lose 40 pounds in 2 weeks, I would have lost 40 pounds 10 years ago in 2 weeks. Like,
Right.
it was really weird, made me uncomfortable kind of, but I knew his statistics were good, like his patients had good outcome, and I was like, I can deal with an asshole doctor if I get good results. Bottom line, like, that's just how I felt at this point. But in between, I was having other issues like bad reflux and bad stomach pains, and just, but I thought that was my stomach healing from having a foreign object on it for so long. So just kind of go through the motions, and he did the sleeve finally after 4 weeks of a pre-op diet, and it was very painful. I was super surprised on how painful it was, and went home and was on a PICC line within 2 months for dehydration. And went in. Every time I went in, I got to see his PA. I never once saw my surgeon again. I developed dysphagia, which is the feeling of something stuck in your throat, but there's nothing really there, so swallowing things was hard. I lost motility in my throat, so I'd have a contraction in my throat where you have like 5 or 6 to push your food down. I would have 1 and then it would stop, which I still have. And they said that can be from trauma or like getting intubated improperly, or it just getting stretched from intubation. And I just had back-to-back surgeries, so they didn't really have a reason why it happened. So every time I went in, his PA would just be like, oh, just go over to ER to get fluids. ER is $150 every time you walk in unless you're admitted. I mean, I'm sorry, but you need to fix me and not just send me over to ER. And why am I not seeing my surgeon? Why am I seeing you every time? Well, one day I remember getting a call from him, and he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, what do you mean, what's going on? You're my doctor. Like, it was super bizarre. And he's like, I see they diagnosed you with dysphagia. And I'm like, I guess, like, they're the doctors. He's like, well, that's pretty much in your head, so that'll go away. I'm like, okay, thanks. Like, thanks for your support. And that really pushed me over the edge, because at this point I have a PICC line. Something really bad in my family happened, and I'm trying to deal with that and being sent to the ER and going in 3 times a week for infusion for fluids, because I couldn't even swallow water at this point. I wasn't even worried about the food thing, because at this point, like I said, just other life stuff was happening. So I'm at my family's house, and I'm having this really weird pain in my left neck. And I'm just like, man, I was sleeping on the couch at my sister's house to be specific, and I was like, I must have slept funny. And I didn't even realize, but my boyfriend, he's like, your PICC line's on that side. And I was like, oh, that is weird. He's like, maybe you should get it checked out. Well, I went in, and the PICC line had slipped into my jugular and caused a blood clot in my neck.
Oh.
So I had to go on Lovanex shots for 2 weeks, get the PICC line removed after the blood clot dissolved, because if they pulled it, it would have went into my heart or lungs. So at that point, I'm still fighting dehydration, but I can't have a PICC line because I can't do one after a blood clot, even on your other side. So because of dehydration, I started getting sick. Everything I ate got stuck, yada, yada, yada. I find a new doctor, who, they all sound great. It all sounds great until you meet them, I guess. And met her. She is really nice. She's like, your case is something else, you know. And I was like, basically, I want the truth. Like, what is going on with my stomach? Like, what does it look like? What did she mean that it was too dangerous? Or he didn't tell me anything. Like I said, I never saw him after my surgery. Never, even in the hospital, never saw him. Saw his PA, and that was it, which was weird. And so she went in and did it. She went in to look. She did like an exploratory surgery kind of, I guess, because with the endoscopy, you can only see the inside. She wanted to know what the outside looked like. So she's like, because we were thinking about just doing a sleeve revision if there was something wrong with my sleeve. And she's like, well, to be honest with you, it looks like a chop job in there. Like, it's misshapen. You had really bad scar tissue from your band that I can see. It was eroded, and they never told you, obviously, because it's not in your records. My crown is crooked. It clearly slipped, clearly eroded. It messed up the shape of your stomach. So when they did the sleeve, they had to cut portions out, which causes your food to get stuck on the way down, which is fine because you don't feel it in your stomach, but having multiple surgeries will damage your esophagus, being intubated and all this other stuff. So basically what we decided to do was kind of a hybrid. I have a sleeve, but she did reroute part of my intestine because I wasn't digesting my foods properly. So I am half sleeve, half bypass. Now, I was great after surgery. I dropped 30 pounds in the first 3 months. I felt amazing, like I hadn't felt in years. And then in March, boom, I hit a brick wall. Something happened, and I couldn't eat or drink again. And went back on a PICC line, had to get a feeding tube. I had an NJ tube in my nose for a couple months, about a month. And then I had to get a PEG tube put in my jejunum, in my gut, basically, in my small intestine, and that was in for about 2 months. She got that taken out, basically because I lied. She said, once you start eating this many calories a day, I'll take it out, and I told her I was, because it hurt so bad, which is abnormal, but my nerves were so hypersensitive, it was starting to reject. It was so painful that I just needed it out of me. I was going crazy. I was having panic attacks. And it's just been a journey. So right now, I see a new doctor out in Oregon who's trying to figure out what's going on. First time I ever saw him, he did an endoscopy that same day because he didn't like what my chart said and what it looked like. He found a bleeding ulcer in my stomach and found migrating staples that were loose and cutting the inside of my stomach, and had to pull out one of them because it was irritating not only the ulcer but cutting a portion of my stomach because it was, you know, like how staples get loose and then just flap around. Well, that one was doing that and cutting the inside of my stomach open. So he removed that and put me on some medication for ulcer, and I saw him Monday, and he's still real concerned about my ulcer because of the symptoms I'm having and the bleeding I'm having and things like that. So that's his main concern right now. I have a lot of other digestive issues and eating issues. As you see, probably I drink diet soda, and he is very well aware of that. But the bubbles is what helps fluid get down. So right now, that is my thing that I do. He's on mad because I only eat like once a day. So he got on me about that. But when eating is painful and not enjoyable, it's a catch-22 when you love food and you can't eat.
Yeah.
So that is where I'm at right now. I go back at the end of October for some testing.
Cool.
There's going to be another endoscopy and then another motility study to check my contractions in my throat, and then he lined up some other stuff which I actually don't know now. So. Oh, and he started me on B12 shots because I'm super low apparently. So I have to do those monthly injections at home, and I got scopolamine patches because I'm nauseous all the time. And then they put me back on my anti-seizure meds, which isn't because I have seizures, but because my vague nerve in my esophagus is damaged from everything, so I get dizzy every time I stand up, which causes passing out and everything. So I have to take that twice a day. So it's just kind of annoying. I'm like not 30, but yet I'm 100. So,
Wow.
just from weight. And mind you, I'm not even at goal or close to, so frustrating.
Wow.
But the longer version, we'll link below.
Yeah.
If you even want to hear it, because it just is what it is.
It's hell and back. That's what it is. Goodness gracious. All right. Wow. Just speechless here. Let's just go ahead and get into our topic, which is childhood obesity. I personally was an obese child. I didn't get obese until my teens. I started gaining weight until adulthood. That's when I started reaching it. But I know you and Dennis, Renee, were obese children, and then Michael said he started reaching overweight. What, when about 3? You said?
No, about third grade.
Third grade.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite thin up until third grade, and they put me in public school, and my mom stopped making my lunches, and I started eating there, and I just packed on the weight. But I always felt like I was obese, but I look back now, and I really wasn't. I was just overweight.
See, and that's what I think too. Like, I was bigger and made fun of because I was bigger than them, but I wasn't technically obese until probably middle school.
Yeah. What about
according
you, Dennis?
to the BMI charts.
Right.
Mine all started when I was diagnosed with Tourette's because I started on this medication. I was in a trial medication in 4th grade, and it packed on the weight. So part of it was me eating, part of it was the medicine. And then starting 4th grade on until now, I yo-yoed, and I went as far as 3-something down to 2-something. I did it like 3-4 times. But I was in 4th grade when it started. When I was a baby, I actually was 6 pounds 7 ounces. I was a tiny baby. But I mean, starting for it, like I said,
with the medication, do you feel like that triggered your addiction to food, or do you feel like you never had an addiction to food? It was just you couldn't lose weight because of the medication.
I don't remember at the time. Like right now, before I had the sleeve, I was addicted to food.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't eat, like if there was a whole cake there, I wouldn't eat, like half the cake.
Right.
But I'd go from a cake to cookies to this to that. I wouldn't eat all of it at one time. Like the whole cake. But I just would eat different things at one time.
I'm the same way. Like I would eat large. And my portions, like for dinner, were probably too large, but I would eat throughout the day opposed to just like my meals.
Yeah.
Like a cake. I would eat a cake and some cookies and ice cream.
Yeah.
And not just a piece of cake or something.
That's how our family was. I mean, we'd sit there and eat a balanced meal. I know we did. but we were an Italian family, so there was always food around. There was always a grandma sitting there saying, eat something, eat this. You know, holidays were very big, gatherings were very big, so there was always, you know, food around.
See, and as a child, we didn't do desserts. See, we were very healthy as like growing up, and I think I mentioned this to you the other day. I'm the only. My sister's a little bit overweight. My middle sister's not overweight at all. She's probably a size 5, maybe 4. My mom's not overweight, and neither is my dad. I have just always been big. We always ate the same. My mom would never like give me extra portion. Like I ate the same as they did. I just was the big one, and I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
And so it's frustrating being the youngest. It's the little sister, quote unquote, little.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But they didn't treat me any different. Like I didn't get extra food. I didn't get seconds. Well, like, I mean, if I was hungrier, I got seconds, but it wasn't like unhealthy food.
Right.
My mom cooked every night. My mom made us lunches every day. So it's hard, you know, people ask where did they go wrong, you know, where did they go wrong, and it's like I don't feel like some kids nowadays eat different and bad, but when I was younger, it wasn't like we had cookies and we can afford it.
Yeah.
If we had cookies, it was homemade, and those were for my dad's lunch. We didn't touch them. Like, it's different. Like, I don't know. We didn't eat school lunches because we didn't have the money.
Yeah.
So we didn't eat that crap. I don't know. It's weird. It's like, and that's why I truly believe obesity is a disease.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I have a 12-year-old daughter. Oh, my computer came on.
An hour later.
I know. My computer came on. It made noise. But my daughter, she was born with a disability, and she is starting to gain weight. But the doctor said it's normal for children with her disability because she can't run around like the other kids do, you know. But I try to get her to be more active. But she plays that she knows how to play that sympathy card very well. You know, oh, my feet hurt, you know, my back hurts.
Throw her in the water.
Yeah. Well, she's scared of the water, but she will get out there. If we go walking, she'll walk. She'll sit there. She can't do, you know, a mile with us, but she will do as much as she can. She'll push herself, and she's getting better. And even the PE coach at our school, when we had school orientation, they were talking and said that, you know, she's starting to participate more, and she's finally coming out of that shell. But it's hard because I have 4 kids here in this house, so they're constantly wanting a snack. You know, they want the sugary drinks.
I was going to say making healthy choices for them is hard and expensive.
It is. It seems like it's cheaper to eat the healthier way since we moved here, I have to say it's been cheaper to eat the healthy way than it is to eat the junk way. Because I'm finding these fruit stands and these farmer markets and these cheese places and these things that the kids can opt to besides, you know, a bag of Doritos or something like that.
Right.
So, and it's hard because I have a husband that has a sweet tooth too. Mm-hmm. That's the hard part about it too. So
my man is a snacker, and he will eat chips and salsa till the cows come home.
Yeah.
And it's hard because I literally will shop for it. Our cart is completely opposite.
Yeah.
But I still make, you know, I still buy my stuff. But it's hard because I will just not eat.
Yeah. How is it with you, Michael, raising your kids and stuff? Did you have a problem with?
I've got 3 kids. They were fit, active. I mean, they could eat anything they wanted and wouldn't gain a pound. I mean, so, and we really didn't eat bad. I just ate a lot.
Yeah.
Now my oldest son, now that he's out of the house and living the married life and happy, he's put on a little bit of weight.
I think once you settle in, y'all gain a few pounds, but
yeah. But other than that, I mean,
No
my
issue.
youngest son is 17, and he's like 155 pounds, 160 pounds. My daughter is, 19, and I think she's like 115, 120 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean,
But was there a lot of buying junk when them growing up, or did you sit
well,
there and you?
they ate the Pop-Tarts and the Hot Pockets and the pizzas, and because it was cheaper and easier, and but like regular dinners, we would eat the pasta and steak and hamburgers and spaghetti. I mean,
Normal meals.
normal meals.
Yeah.
So
What about you for you growing up?
for me growing up, we grew up on a very tight budget, so there wasn't a lot of eating out.
Yeah,
We
we never ate
ate a lot of
food.
steak, potatoes, vegetables.
Sustainable food.
Yeah, the starchy foods that stick to your stomach.
Yeah, and just
Stuff you don't need seconds of.
right. But I would go back and eat seconds anyway.
Okay.
So I mean, I just ate a lot. I mean, it wasn't really unhealthy food. I have a sister that, I mean, has been rail thin her whole life. My mom is not much overweight. I mean, my dad, he's 6'5" and 220, 230 pounds. Yeah. So I was just heavy.
Yeah.
You feel like your food addiction started young?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You feel like it was a comfort for anything, or you just like food?
I was a closet eater.
Oh, okay.
When I moved out of the house,
I was a closet eater when I moved out of the house.
well, this was before. When I moved out of the house, we were taking my room down, and I had a waterbed. And you know how you got the cubby hole up underneath the headboard? Well, there was the Coke cans and the wrappers, the empty half-gallon cartons of ice cream, and I was a closet eater. It's like, if you don't see me eating it, I'm not really eating it.
Right.
So you knew at that point you had a problem, obviously.
I knew I had a food addiction at that time, but at that time, I only weighed 200 pounds. I felt huge. I looked huge to myself, but I look back now,
And you wish we were that size.
I was picked on. I was, all through high school because I was bigger than everyone else.
And that's what I was saying earlier, is I was bigger, but I wasn't big.
Yeah, I was bigger, but I wasn't big. I graduated. I know when I got married, I was probably 205, 210 pounds, and that was 20 years ago. So that's nothing.
Yeah.
And every day I was like, why was I so hard on myself? You weren't big at that time.
Yeah.
But
What about you?
I was going to say, you want to catch up on some comments? We've got a bunch.
Yep, and first of all, I just got a Facebook message from Watch Patty Melt. She's here watching us, and she wanted to say she's not able to comment on YouTube, but she wanted to say hi to everybody, happy Friday, and sending love to everybody. So,
Oh, we love you, Patty.
Love you, Patty.
hi Patty. Let me go back to my comments here now. I'm actually having some problems, so let me go back here. We have Carrie Downs is here. She says, hi guys, I'm here.
Hey, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Gastric Rose says, thank you all, feeling very blessed. Love you. Mwah. Gives kisses. We have Miss Beautiful Alicia that's in the house. She says, love you guys. Zen is here. She says, hello everyone. Congrats, Rosemary.
Hi,
Trish is here. She says, I'm late but here. Couldn't find y'all. Zen says, Renee, that is amazing. That's an amazing story of survival and perseverance on your part. How are you eating today? Do you exercise? Is there a reason you stopped losing, in your own opinion? So it's a question for you, Renee.
Okay. So first portion was what?
It says, What are you eating today?
So I live on softer foods like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. I do eat some solid proteins, chicken. I make sure they're very soft. It's very hard. I do vomit a lot still, so that's still a daily occurrence for me. The reason I'm not losing, per me and my doctor, and this was reassured to me on Monday, is I don't eat enough. My body's in a weird phase where it doesn't know what's going to happen, so it just kind of hangs out where it's at.
He's in survival mode.
Yeah, he didn't use those terms, but basically that's what it means. Is actually, ironically, I've lost like 5 pounds this month, but it just kind of hangs out where it's at because it knows. It doesn't know, but it also knows that once it gets nutrition, it kind of comes back up. So I do know the more I eat, I will start to lose again. Protein shakes, unfortunately, don't sit with my stomach right now because of the ulcer. So I kind of live on, I do salads, which there's no nutritional value, but it does get food in my stomach. So it's weird because crunchy foods will work for me because they go down. Soft foods go down. And also it's day by day and sometimes it's hour by hour. So I just kind of test what works.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm living on. I know the girls will see me eating the most random stuff. Trail mixes, like peanuts and raisins, granola bars, peanut butter and rice cakes. I don't know what it is about that, but I'm loving those. They like me.
They're good.
Yeah, they are. They're good, and I like them, and they actually work for me sometimes. Sometimes my stomach doesn't like them, so I just have to take a couple bites and see what happens. Some days eggs are good. Bacon has not been my friend lately.
Oh, that's so sad.
It is sad. Steak I can't do. It does not digest well. Like
I tried steak tonight, yeah.
Yeah, I had a bite or two last night of Casey's and it was just not happening. I have to use condiments because tough stuff is not.
Yeah, I tried steak tonight for the first time and it was like, never again.
And you can chew as much as you want for me with steak and it still does not. It just kind of hangs out in my throat. So
yeah,
that's where I'm at right now with foods.
Now,
I don't have a big variety.
Now, do you exercise at all?
So I've been diagnosed because of my malnutrition and everything. I have a pretty severe nerve condition, and I've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I'm not allowed to lift anything over 20 pounds, and I obviously randomly pass out. I try to do some water exercises. I do random housework, but after I vacuum, I can pass out. So I have to really take it easy. So unfortunately, at this time, no, I don't really exercise. I try to walk around, but I have to really limit myself on things. Unfortunately, I miss it. I mean, I canceled my gym membership, which sucked, but like I said, those first 3 months I was in the gym and I was dropping weight and doing good. So I'm really hoping to get back to that point. But I would, just the little things but I definitely know when I'm overexerting myself because my body tells me. And sometimes it's literally just grocery shopping that will do it to me.
Wow.
It sucks.
I can understand that. I mean, with me passing out this past week, I can't even. I mean, so far I'm not even able to exercise.
Right.
So I mean, it's something different what you're going through. But I mean, when you get used to the exercising and stuff, it's hard. Sometimes it's even hard to go back to it.
Mhm. It is, and when I stand up and I get my tunnel vision or I black out for a second, and that happens daily. So it's like, okay, you got to sit down and recoup. It's like there's no way you can get on a treadmill that day.
Right.
And wonder if you're going to make it off the treadmill vertically or horizontally. So I have not been allowed to work out for my doctor.
Okay.
But I will get in the water and I'll walk around and swim around and take it easy, and that works. The waves, unfortunately, get me nauseous. Sometimes I have to get out, but otherwise I do enjoy getting in the water still.
Okay. Let me see if there's anything else here. Gastric Gross has great questions then. I was just about to ask how she eats today. Great minds think alike. So we also have Joy Lynn saying her middle daughter is obese and it hurts her because she doesn't know any better. She exercises and it's still not like we have loads of junk food in the house either.
It's
Um, yeah. And then she also says that her grandmother made fun of her the other day and it made her baby cry.
that's not okay.
She says that my mother was so upset and had to tell her to stop because it wasn't helping the situation and it was also hurting her feelings.
Right. I agree.
You need your family support.
Exactly.
I mean, I just got a text from Lindsay. She's watching, trying to comment. She loves us all.
Hey, Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay. We love you. I'm sorry. YouTube is acting really weird. It's not letting some people comment or us reply, and then it's not even saving our comments at the end of the show. So it's
Facebook was doing that to me earlier, so.
yeah.
Well, I just lost all my comments, so I can't. I'm trying to get back to it.
I got him right here, Dennis. So,
Okay.
Joylyn says 4 kids. That's nothing, girl. I know. I feel you, but I got a husband too, so that counts. So
Well, that's a good kid. Shit.
yeah, that's like 2 kids in one, and then Monkey counts as 2 or 3 kids at once. So
Right. Well, and if you're raising teenage boys,
Don't talk bad about Monkey.
but if you're raising like adolescent boys, it's really hard because they will eat their weight in food.
Let me tell you, my son started football this year, and he eats nonstop. And the bad thing is about it, the coach sits there and tells him, he goes, "You need to eat more."
Yeah.
So the coach wanted me to sit there and buy muscle building protein for him. So I found one that he actually likes, and he tried it today, and he said he likes it. So
Hopefully that'll fill them up.
yeah, so I'm hoping that will help them. Gastric Rose says, "So sorry, Joy. An adult should never shame a child. I was shamed many times by adults when I was growing up, so understand completely. Hugs, love you." Alicia says, "Oh no, Joy Lynn, give all 6 of my babies hugs." Zen says, "Rose, yes, great minds think alike." Renee, we want details. I don't know what that one's about.
I would like details of what you would like details on.
Just referring to her question, that was before she had answered.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did she pass a question she didn't answer? I'm sorry.
No, that was before Renee answered.
Oh, okay. Is that an old question?
Yeah.
Joylyn said, "Sure, Alicia." And then Joylyn says, "How do we help our children now?" That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
In her situation, like when I was saying, if you're not doing anything wrong, and it is truly the disease, it's really hard. What do you do for them? Because what do we do for ourselves?
Yeah.
We had to seek help in an extreme way, in my opinion. But Christy and Michael know that I have other opinions on other children who there's other help for them.
Right, because I was gonna say that I have a friend that she's skinny, but she lets her kid. I mean, she's health conscious. She's a workout freak, everything. But she lets her kids sit there and eat whatever they want, and
I know you love your kids, you want them to be happy, but that's making it bad. That's making them unhealthy in the future.
Right, and she's not sitting there, and she's like, "Oh, my baby, he's okay. This is, I bought him a cupcake." Yeah, I bought him a cupcake for him. He got good grades. Let's go have pizza. He can have soda. I'm sorry, my kids do not drink soda. I do not allow that.
Soda until I was 16.
Yeah. I don't sit there and allow it. And it's like every now and then they get it, and especially my daughter, she can't have caffeine, period. And it's like, I go to schools, I'm like, okay, if you have parties, she cannot have caffeine whatsoever. So, and it's like, it's a treat every now and then if we go to a party and that's the only option is to drink a soda.
I don't even give, I have my nephew a lot, and I don't even give him his full juice. He knows that he gets half juice, half water.
Yep, that's what I do for Monkey. Is she gets half juice because the crap they put in there. Believe me, if I could sit there and juice, enough juice to sit there and make juice that would last a day, I would. But it's too expensive to sit there and juice all day long. you know.
Water's
But
just fine. I do buy enhancers, and he likes those.
yeah, my kids like those. My kids, because I couldn't do them because they were too sweet for me, but my kids did like them. So, but I agree. I mean, there's so many parents out there that live the healthy lifestyle, but they let their kids do what they want and eat what they want. And it's like we should be focusing on our children too, because there's more obese children out there today than there was when I was going in school.
Big time.
Big time.
Big time. And I'm going to step on some toes here, and it's not in any, I just, it's going to happen because people are sensitive, and it's not even in a negative way, but in the weight loss community, I see people who have had bariatrics and who have succeeded and do amazing and are super health conscious who have obese children. And it breaks my heart that they allow it to continue, not in the way like that, and I don't know what happens behind closed doors, but I do see comments and I see maybe some excuses being made, and like I said, it's not my place. I don't know what happens behind closed doors, but I do see these big bone. We all know the big bone myth is bullshit.
Yeah, I used it for many years.
I have had a density test. I have dense bones. My bones are the same size as my mother's, who is tiny. We have frame sizes, yes. Michael, don't comment on your big bone. Don't. However, or he's husky and he's going through a phase. I get it. I really do. I was big, and I thought maybe I was big boned, or I would actually say it because back then that's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not true. And you're so healthy. You're the one feeding your child now. You're the provider to put the food in your child's mouth. I know eating healthy isn't cheap, but there's healthier options, or the seconds and thirds, or the after-school sugary snacks, or the, you know, just things like that. And I wonder, I'm curious, I'm not a parent, but I've been around children a lot. I work with kids with special needs. I work with kids of all ages and sorts of issues and non-issues. But do you as parents feel that we could be preventing kids with food addiction or helping them if it's not the actual obesity disease that they have and it's just how you're treating the way they're eating?
Well, let me step right there. When I started going through the process of having weight loss surgery, I changed the way we ate in our house. All of us.
Okay.
We have always been, I'm cooking one meal, you're either going to eat it or you're not going to eat dinner that night.
Right.
I'm not going to cook a meal for you, and I'm going to cook a meal for me.
I agree.
So when I cook a meal, you know, I cook what I can eat. And we eat chicken, turkey, fish.
Right. Proteins.
And a vegetable. Sometimes I'll throw them in a treat of macaroni and cheese or a rice dish or whatever. It's like, it's to the point now I'm almost 3 years out, and my kids come home and they say, what's for dinner? And I'll tell them, they'll say, do we have to have chicken again?
There's only so many meats out there, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah, there is, but I mean, we eat, that's what we eat. I mean,
Right.
I changed the way the whole house ate.
Yeah.
We pretty much all stopped eating the junk food. I mean,
And
do
I
I make cakes? Do I make them treat? Yes, but it's not every night we're having a dessert. Once a week, I'll make cookies or I'll make brownies or something. Yeah, I mean, it's a
And
treat.
I see parents accommodating, like, oh, look at my healthy meal, and this is what I made my children, and it's the macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets, and it's like, why did you even buy that? If you're making this beautiful, delicious food for yourself, like,
Why are you feeding? Why are you steadily putting crap in your kid's mouth?
right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's picky. He's picky because you allow them to be.
Right. And I know, Michael, if even when you bake, when you say that you bake cupcakes or cookies or whatever like that, you alter your recipes to a healthier option, because you're the one that showed me how to make the black bean brownies.
Oh.
And yeah, that was really good.
My kid's probably about 9 or 10 pounds 9 or 10 pans of black bean brownies, figured out that it was black bean brownies instead of regular brownies. They had no clue until they walked in there and saw me making them one night, and they were like, "Oh, those are going to be gross." I was like, "You've been eating them for a year."
That's awesome.
And they were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I've done that applesauce instead of oil and things like that, and Casey doesn't care at all. Like,
I mean, I alter recipes as much as I can. I even alter my macaroni and cheese recipe. I mean, it's...
You even put protein into a regular cake batter mix. Because I remember you did that for your granddaughter's birthday because you were saying that you had protein in those cupcakes.
Yeah.
And none of those people noticed.
Yeah, none of them noticed. I made regular cupcake, and I added like 2 scoops of a vanilla protein powder to the cake mix.
Was that because you wanted to have a slice, or was that
because I wanted a slice? I was like, it's going to have more protein in it. I can justify it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, and that's the thing, if you want to treat yourself, make it justifiable. I bought that Quest unflavored that you can bake with, cook with. I love it. You can literally put it in anything.
Yeah. I mean, so worth it. My piece of cake I had, instead of having like 2 grams of protein, it had 8.
Right. Yeah. And it made it worth it.
It made it worth it.
The guilt was gone.
Right.
As you're eating Oreos. But anyway.
But as adults, we can sit there and change even the pickiest child's eating habits to a healthier option that they don't know. I mean,
I have macaroni and cheese. There's protein pasta.
Oh yeah, I sit there and get the quinoa macaroni and cheese, and they eat it. They don't know a difference. It's like, I mean, I could sit there and hide vegetables inside a potato salad that they don't know they're eating. They're eating spinach. They got their carrots. They got their, everything.
You have to do it with every meal. I'm just curious what the community thinks of it. Like, I get, knowing what I know now about obesity, like I said, I'm 100% firm believer obesity is a disease.
It is.
I thought I could lose weight on my own. I thought I was just overeating, and I thought I was just big boned, and I thought all these things. But then when I look back on my history, I truly have the obesity disease.
Right.
And I'm not saying that as an excuse, but I wonder if your child has the obesity gene, what can we do to help them? And if they don't, why aren't you helping them not become what you were, that you went the extreme to get the surgery that we went through? Like, why wouldn't you prevent it? Because you struggled and fought and had tears, and God knows what you've been through.
Exactly. Yeah, and we don't want our children to go through it. So why would...
You're their protector. Why aren't you stopping it, putting a stop to it now?
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go to comments real quick and sit there and see, because we got a few. Joy said, Gastric Rose told Joy, she said, helping kids become aware of their personal rights is a great start to helping them develop a healthier self-esteem. Need to hear, I love you more times a day, and I am proud of you, and I'm listening, etc. And that's true. Our kids are so wrapped up in the Xbox and the phones and everything else that, they need a break. They need personal interaction like we did when we were kids. Exactly. We didn't have that. We had beepers. We had to go run to the payphone.
And you had to have money for the payphone. You wanted to call that.
Right. Did you like that, Mike?
Or you had to find their bikes to figure out which house they were at.
Exactly. I mean, back
when the streetlights came on, otherwise you got lost.
That's right. You know what? My stepdad made us stay out until he's like, after we finished homework, we were supposed to stay outside until those streetlights came on.
Or you had chores.
That's right.
You didn't have cable growing up.
No. God forbid that. No.
Hey, but I could text with a beeper. Come on now.
Oh, yeah. I bet you knew some of those words, too.
That must have been above me.
Zen says, thank you for answering, and I hope you can pass all this. Never give up.
I will.
Yeah. Miss Beautiful Alicia, she said, but then, like my son, his doctor has always said he can eat what he wants when he wants because he doesn't gain weight. None of us eat the same thing. We all eat differently every night.
And I've met Alicia's son, and he is thin. Just because he can eat what he wants doesn't mean he should be eating crap. And we've talked about that. Just because he can eat it.
I was going to say something there, too. I mean, my oldest son, the doctor said, hey, he's thin. He let him eat what he wants when he wants. He's 22 years old now and probably 240 pounds.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not gonna, it doesn't mean it's going to last forever.
It will catch up with you.
Yeah, my son Jay, he's a tall, skinny thing too.
Getting into the habit of just eating what you want when you want is a bad habit.
Yeah.
Trust us.
Terry Lowe, she sat there and said, I agree, Michael. I'm a cook, and I too make a healthy dinner, and if you don't like it, you don't eat. I agree. I'm the cook in the house, too. It's like there's one meal that's being made, and you don't eat it, oh, well, sorry, you go to bed with the empty stomach.
What about you?
I know, Dennis is quiet over there.
I am actually the one that will cook a few different meals, because if I have a protein shake during the day, I usually have a protein shake during the evening. So I'm cooking something usually for Jay and the kids. Sometimes when we're low with food, it depends. Like Jay may like something and the kids may not. Alex, my youngest, he's 8 years old. He is thin as a rail. Okay, my oldest is 10, and he's just starting to. I don't want to say get heavier, but he's starting to get a belly.
Right.
He's the autistic one. He's very picky with what he eats. He will not eat a vegetable. He will not eat certain foods. If he doesn't like the way it looks, he won't eat it.
And we touched on that earlier, how it's hard to make that.
Exactly. My youngest, he's ADHD, but he will eat vegetables. He will eat chicken. When I make tacos for the family, I make chicken tacos. I don't make it with the beef. I make it with the ground chicken, ground turkey. They love it. They'll eat 2 tacos and stuff like that, and they like it like that. But just certain foods they just don't like. So I will make a couple different. Foods for them.
But it's not like you're making to accommodate their bad habits. Yeah.
No. And we try not to have them drink soda. They do drink a lot of juice. That is one thing that they do drink, or milk. They do drink milk. Trying to think what else. Again, my youngest will eat some vegetables, fruit. So yogurt, they like yogurt. So I mean, like I said, we watch what they eat, but we won't limit to what they eat, because they're pretty thin,
They're healthy.
Yes, exactly.
That's good.
Yeah. Joylyn said she wants a cupcake now.
I'll make you one, Joy. Come pick it up, and we can hang out too.
Zen said, absolutely right. Not only can the weight catch up with you, but then thin people drop dead from clogged arteries as well. For real. If it is not good for you, don't bring it into the house as a general rule.
Exactly.
Well, my brother was 36. He died of a heart attack, 2 years ago. Very healthy person. He drank, and he, made he made healthy foods, but he also, a big Italian, so,
Other adult bad choices.
Yeah. But, he was very active, he was a healthy person. He was very thin and sat there and just was gone just like that. So, and then Alicia, wait a second. Joyce said, I don't always cook healthy, but I also put stuff on the side. Last night we had a fully loaded potatoes, but we had fruit salad with it, and the fruit salad was gone. See, fruits and salads go in my house my kids love it, especially my son. He'd rather eat salads than meats.
That's cool.
Yeah. Alicia said, guess it's a matter of opinion. I'm not the only one in the house. Right. Everybody's different. Everybody's different.
It's not a negative.
No, it's not a negative, and it's like everybody's different. The thing is that we just have to watch our children, especially our children that are already obese or getting to that point. Yeah, we just have
what I
to.
was talking about is the younger
The little ones.
generation that, you know, you can tell there's a problem.
Right. That's what scares me, is seeing these little kids that are wearing, you know, adult size clothes.
Or already having
8 years old.
Yeah.
because
That's
they're
what, right.
can't fit on
8
that.
years old and they're pushing 200 pounds.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. I mean, we're not talking about, you know, these
20-year-old.
older kids, and I'm talking about the little kids that we need to sit there and educate them, because, you know, I know our older kids know better. I know my kids, their age, they know better, but, you know, I can't sit there and be their bodyguard 24/7.
When they're old enough to eat, grab their own
think nutrition needs to be addressed
young.
early on as you're raising your children, to make healthier choices, to make smart choices. You know, do you always have to be strict? No.
Right.
Do you always have to eat healthy? No. Can you have cookies and chips? Yeah. We need to teach our children moderation.
Yes, that's the key word, is moderation.
Throwing it out there to the kids, here, eat whatever, and I'll go buy some more.
Right.
Yeah.
But when your child's an adult or 17 in that home and doing his own thing, whatever. But when your child is 8 wearing sweatpants because he can't fit into 8-year-old clothes, that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish, you know, I would have learned moderation early on, instead of just being allowed to go back and eat seconds, or, you know, I had a nickname. I was the garbage disposal. I cleaned everybody's plate.
See, people think that's cute and funny, but that's, thinking back now, you probably think like that's harsh. Like,
I mean, you know, when I would do the dishes, I wouldn't scrape the plates. I'd say, oh, well, there's still some meat right there, and I'd eat it. Oh, there's still some potatoes right there, and I'll eat it.
Yeah.
I mean, I did not know moderation.
Yeah.
I do now.
And Joy Lynn said moderation is the key, and I agree. You know what? I like Joy Lynn's videos, and if y'all haven't sit there and seen her, go watch her, because when she makes some of her videos and she's talking about snacks and prepping, she shows how she breaks down her kids' snacks. I mean, the last video I sat there and saw, the kids were eating a piece of lunch meat, cheese, some pretzels, and carrots, and those kids were eating it up. They were enjoying it, you know? And I like the way that she sits there and she shows these kids, you know?
Yeah.
And like I said,
one of my piece out of 6.
What?
She says, Joy Lynn said, only one of my children are obese out of 6.
See, and that's when I feel like, and I'm the one in my family out of the 3, and that's when I feel like it's the disease. It really, and it's hard. And like I said, this is by no means to step on anybody's toes or any personal vendetta or anything. And I know people get sensitive about it because it's children, but it's a true curiosity, because for so long people thought obesity was just because people ate too much.
Right.
And this is where I feel that you can make the definitive, my child has an obesity gene, or my child just doesn't eat proper.
Yeah.
Okay, she has a question. Joy Lynn does. Do we make our kids eat all the food off their plates?
It depends.
Go ahead, Dennis. Why don't you start that one?
You know, actually, I do. Or I try to, because I hate wasting food. And I may be wrong for doing that, but we don't have the money to waste the food. And even if it's, you know, when I make if I make, like, for breakfast in the morning, I always have a problem with my oldest with breakfast. He tells me he wants waffles. I'll make him 2 waffles. I'll cut it up. He'll only eat some of it, and then he's done. I think the reason why I do that is because, 1, I don't like wasting food. 2, I'll eat it, and that's what, I don't want to say it scares me, but I just don't want to go back to my old habits again, because I know with me not wasting food, I'll go back to my old habits and I'll eat it again.
Do you have to make him 2 waffles if he's not going to eat 2 waffles? Couldn't you just make him 1?
I could make him one, or even cereal. The other day he wanted cereal, and I put a little bit of the cereal in the bowl. He didn't finish it. I did not. This time I did not. I did not eat the cereal. I actually threw it down the drain. I lately, within the past couple weeks, I've been throwing it in the garbage.
There you go.
I hate doing it because when he has breakfast, he is really good in school. When he doesn't eat breakfast, he's really bad in school, and I hear it from the teachers. So I don't want to force him to eat breakfast every
But you
morning.
know what's best for your child.
Right. But I try to force it because I know how his day is going to be in school. So, and I go through this dilemma every morning.
And I was going to say, it's not like, as people who make their children eat, it's not like you're making them eat mounds and mounds of food.
Right.
Right.
I
And,
won't. Go ahead.
Christy, how about you on Joy Lynn's question?
Do I make my kids eat what's on their food? No, because I sit there and I pretty much portion out. I make all the plates and give it to them, and they usually eat what's on their plates. And if they want seconds, they might go back for it. It just depends. But usually, if they don't eat it, they don't eat it. I don't sit there and fight with the kids because if they're full, they're full. If they're done, they're done. I'm not going to sit there and fight with them over it.
Yeah, same here. I was the type, growing up, I would, you need to finish your plate. That's how it was back when I was a kid. Me, I don't, to this day, I mean, my kids are 22, 19, and 17. They fix their own plates. They know how much they're going to eat. I don't make them. I don't make them finish their plate. Do they finish their plate? Yeah, most of the time they do.
Yeah.
But this is going to tie into what Zen just said. I'll have you read that comment in a minute. But after dinner, I mean, there's no snacking. If you didn't eat everything on your plate, no, you're not going to get a snack an hour later.
I agree with you 100% there, yep.
You want to go finish eating your plate of food because we ain't done the dishes yet? You can go finish eating. Your dinner's still in there, or go get some more dinner. But no, you're not going to snack.
Yeah. I'm the same way. If they didn't eat their dinner, they're not going to have a snack.
This is where I'm kind of a hard ass because I do nanny and I'm dealt with a lot of kids, but I've always engaged them in serving their plates. So I have them help me because I want them to be aware of how much they think they can eat opposed to how much they're really eating. Now, if they only want, the crap or the starch or whatever, it's like that's when you get to teach them, this is how much you can have. Now, if they say that this is what they want and they can't finish it, understandable, but an hour later, if you're still hungry, let's say we've cleared and there's no leftovers, I'll let them have a piece of fruit.
Yeah.
That's okay, but you can't go have cookies and crap. You can have a banana, that's fine. But if there's leftovers, how about you have some leftovers then?
Yeah.
But like I said, if there's no leftovers and you're still hungry and you did a valiant effort and you tried to eat your dinner that you helped me serve your own plate, yeah, that's fine. You can have, something healthy to eat.
Yeah.
But growing up, it wasn't, I don't ever remember them making us finish our food, but I don't ever remember it being an issue.
Yeah. I know my stepdad was very strict on, we had to finish eating what was on our plate, and that's where my phobia of peas came from, was not eating, because if I didn't eat those peas, I had them the next day for breakfast. It's cold. Wow. Because he was that strict kind of dad that, you didn't eat it, you're going to have it the next day. And if you don't eat it for breakfast, you're going to have it for snack when you come home from school. And if you don't eat that, you're going to have it for dinner. It's almost that mommy dearest. Yeah, that mommy dearest thing came in, And I swore that I would never do that to my kids. And Jay grew up, when he was little, he was a very picky eater. He didn't like meat. His meat portions are half. So he doesn't do a lot of meats, but he'll eat the vegetables. And And if I try to make something new, it's like if I made quinoa for the first time. They were all scared to eat it, but they ate it. They liked it, you know, so.
I'm a big advocate on making them try something once, even if it looks funny or tastes funny. You can't tell me you don't like it until you try it once.
Exactly. If I have to sit there and try it, you're going to try it.
Because I still try stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like fish very much, but I will still try it.
Yeah.
Just so I can say I don't like it still.
I might have been wrong for doing this, but you know, I don't remember what it was, but I think it was my oldest son, and it was years ago. It was, hey, this is what I cooked for dinner. I don't like it. Have you tasted it? No. Then you can't say you don't like it. Now try it. He sat at the table for 3.5 hours before he tried it.
I've sat.
Yeah.
He wasn't hungry enough.
He wasn't hungry enough, and then he tried it, and then he ate it.
Yeah.
I mean, but he sat there for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, tough love sometimes is what has to happen.
I agree.
Crying, tears, fit throwing, yeah, but he sat there for 3.5 hours before he ate it.
All right, you want me to read Zen's, you said?
Yeah, go ahead and read Zen.
Taste buds change all the time, especially after surgery. So give yourself an opportunity to taste stuff after surgery. Because cottage cheese, I hated it, and now I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Zen said, Joylyn, my opinion is that you shouldn't force to eat the food when they are full, but if they didn't eat it, they can't snack on later. So that's pretty much what we were just saying. You know, if you're not going to eat your dinner, then you don't deserve a snack. I'm sorry. You know, didn't sit there.
Because kids will say they're full just to get out of eating too. So it's
exactly. Like, you know, I sat there and we made, what was it? It was a pork loin, and I put apples and cinnamon in it and made it for dinner. And my best friend's son, he loves apples, but when he sat there and he saw that apple, oh, I don't want to eat that apple. The apple's mushy. It's a candied apple. It's got cinnamon on it. It's not going to hurt you. Try it. And it was hard. He did not want to try it. It was a hard time for him to sit there and take that concept to eat pork with apples, you know. So, but that's something how it is like that. Joylyn says my phobia is the same with peas. You go, girl. I'm trying to learn for it because I want Lindsay Cooks to come back on YouTube, so I will eat peas if I have to.
I didn't like peas until like 8 months ago.
Yeah, I will do my best to try it.
I have that pea and bacon salad recipe I can give you.
That is so good. That'll change your mind.
It's so good.
You're giving me the chills.
Also, cream corn. Hated that until about 6 months ago.
Oh my God, I love cream corn. I can eat cream corn.
Oh man, it gave me.
What's it with your peas?
It's the same.
Pretty much.
No, it's not. Corn has a crunch to it.
So
peas are mushy. No, they
what kind of peas did you eat?
Oh, see, talking about it makes me get the hot flashes. I can't talk about it.
Then is the problem.
CHRISTI, that's where hot flashes are coming from.
Yeah.
CHRISTI, could you eat snap peas?
You know what? Snap peas are not so bad because I could do those because I can sit there and put them in my salad and I won't taste them in between the lettuce and stuff.
But aren't they like a pea though? They're just inside. They're like literally wrapped in like a little piece of.
My phobia is smelling that can of sweet peas being open. It stinks so bad, and those little peas
or frozen then.
Okay, but those little peas, oh God, it just stinks. It has a weird smell. It just makes me gag.
Metal.
I know, but you know that was my phobia back then when I was a kid. Yeah. That's why I cannot do it now. I won't do it now because it's like it just grosses me out, the smell of them, and when you squish them and they make that green mess, it's just like it was just I turn green. So
I think everybody gets sick of these. So moving on.
Zen says, my parents did that one time when I was a kid outside with a hot dog. I threw it under a bush.
I was going to say, I sneaked my dog the Brussels sprouts.
Oh, I wish we had a dog when we were kids.
Later to be found out because she farted.
Oh, wow.
So
you know what our thing was? We would hide our food in our napkins, so my stepdad stopped giving us napkins.
It's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Sherry's in here. My friend Sherry. She says, "Christy, suck it up, Buttercup, and eat the peas."
There you go.
Sherry, go make her some peas. Make her eat them.
You know what? And it's funny because she lives right down the road, so I guarantee I will see her on her next day off, and she'll bring me a can of those damn peas. Watch. Don't bring them, Sherry. I don't want the peas, honey. No.
I'm mailing you some peas on Monday.
No.
Michael, that'll be her gift.
Yep.
We'll all send her peas.
I do not want peas sent to me. No. No one's asking for my address to send me peas. No.
Hey, just send me a message. I'll send you her address. You want to mail her some peas.
Exactly.
Look, she said I could be there in 5 minutes. I have peas. No, I don't want them. Stay where you are. It's too cold to go out. Just stay where you are. All right, I think we're done to wrap it up for the night.
I mean, I just really want to just say a key thing, my opinion, with childhood obesity is we all need to try to teach the children young what moderation is. I mean, my granddaughters, you know, they're 3 and 1, and I actually portion out their snacks in the little snack size baggies according to what I know they'll eat or what the actual serving size is for the product, and teaching them, you know, you can get 1 baggie. That's your snack. We're not just going to eat out of the container. I'm teaching them, you know, moderation.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I really think if more parents taught moderation, it would help.
Yeah. Do you have any final words, Dennis? I'm sorry, Michael.
No, it's just that. But a lot of adults don't know moderation, also. So.
Yeah.
See, I'm actually gonna be working on it with my kids this time. If they don't eat anything, as long as they eat most of it, I'm just gonna throw it out and see if that'll work. I mean, they're not heavy. I mean, they're not obese. My oldest is just starting to get a little bit of a belly, so and I'm gonna be working on it, and I'm saying it on the show with this because I don't want them to, first of all, hate me, and I don't want them to be like me when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, I loved my family. I grew up in an Italian family. We had pastries. We had tons of Italian food. I mean, when we had a party, we had a party. We had so much food, and we ate. So, I mean, I just don't want them to go like that.
Right.
You know, so I mean, I will be working on that. We don't buy a lot when we go grocery shopping. If I do buy snacks, I'll buy, you know, cookies. We go once a month shopping. I buy two packs of cookies, you know, where you put them in the oven, put it, you know, first for refrigerator. I'll make 1 pack at one time. When they go, they're done. I'll make it maybe another one another week. So we don't buy it all the time. It's just when we do buy it, we only buy a little bit of it. So that's one good thing is we don't buy a ton of garbagey foods. So
yeah. Renee, do you have any last words?
It starts at the grocery store when you're buying your food, what you choose to buy.
Yeah.
You got final words, Renee?
Miss Renee?
My computer froze, sorry. No, I just feel that I was more curious, you know, on the fact of young children and how the weight loss community feels like if they have an overweight child, if it's actually the obesity gene and what we can do to help them, or if it's something that we're doing subconsciously because we did it to ourselves. And if it's brought to attention, is there something we can do to change it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Help better them now before it's too late.
Yeah.
Because there's a turning point, I believe.
There is.
You know, before hormones change, and I think there is help. Or, you know, in Dennis's aspect, you know, and in mine even with medications, that really affects weight, and people don't realize it. But I have 10 prescriptions sitting by me that I have to take, and if you look on them, weight loss and weight gain is on every single one of them. So are the medicines we're taking, is there another option that's not a side effect? You know, just little things that we're not conscious of that we could maybe help our children with, because Lord knows there's a medication for everything now, unfortunately. And
there's 3.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, you know, just little things like that. And I've been through it, and Dennis goes through it, you know, obviously with his children. And Michael's kids are older now, and CHRISTI has kids with disability also. And it's just a struggle. It's like, what can we do to help kids with obesity? We have OH for adults.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't want our 10-year-olds having surgery, but we also don't want them to grow up and be 500-pound adults. Like, you know, what can we do?
Right.
Another problem that I also had too growing up was I'm also hypoactive for thyroid. I have thyroid issues also. So as a teenager, I was firstly diagnosed with hypothyroidism. I was on 435 micrograms of Synthroid before I had surgery. I was a couple months out of surgery, post-op. They dropped it to 235 micrograms. They almost cut it in half.
Wow.
And now that's what I've been so far, and I'm 10 months post-op. So
hypo means slow, right?
I think it's low active, yeah. So my body
fast. Okay.
Exactly, yes. So my body I will look at food, and I'm 10 pounds heavier.
Right. So is that something, I mean, is that something that kids should be tested for sooner, like thyroid issues or things like that? I know the steroids that we put in our food nowadays are so bad for kids. That affects, you know, kids are getting their periods earlier because of the hormones. I mean, there's so much. It can go on and on. But is there things we can do to help them? Like, it would be great to, you know, if OH has ideas, or Gastric Rose, she's part of the community, huge, like she's a great outreach. Like, is there literally something that can be done for these children who don't, or their parents who need help?
Right.
I just don't know.
Exactly. If it's something genetic, see if you could get your kids tested. I mean, it may not show up now, but like for me, I was a teenager when I was diagnosed with it. Never knew about it until I was a teenager.
And maybe they could have done something for you 5 years prior.
Right.
And prevented 5 years of struggling.
Yeah.
Because my sister's, well, she's 20 years older than me, and she has fought, and she didn't find it until like 5 years ago because it wasn't on the regular panel. She had to get a naturopath to test like a deeper panel.
Yeah.
So it's not just a thyroid, sometimes just shows up on a basic panel.
Right.
So it's like you have to be your own advocate and your children's advocate.
Exactly.
And I know having one autoimmune disease personally, it brings on other issues. So if your child does have ADHD or autism or, you know, born with other disabilities, they're going to be prone to having other issues.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Well, I think this was a really, really good show tonight. And, you know, a lot of stuff, you know, back and forth. You know, comments were great. You know, we really appreciate the comments, guys, during the live show. It really helps keep the show moving. So, you know, let's keep that up for sure. Next week we have Donna Lee.
Yay!
She'll be on. We'll be talking about, you know, the struggle of regain after hitting goal and just some regain issues. So come back next week and watch us, and don't forget to enter the GENEPRO giveaway.
Or not. No,
make sure you enter. The link is down below.
Great for GENEPRO and Sizzle this.
I mean, I'll tell you, I had GENEPRO tonight in my iced tea, and It tastes like iced tea.
It's awesome stuff.
It's odorless. It's tasteless. You could put it in hot and cold drinks. 30 grams of protein and 98 calories. You can't beat it, folks. Go try it. Tell them that we sent you. Tell them Pretty Losers and Sizzle This sent you to go buy this stuff.
Exactly.
Y'all have a good week, and we'll see you next Friday.
Bye.
Have a great week, all.